Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This side Priya Bhatia, and in this specific video, I welcome you all to the another topic where we are trying to focus on interview questions with respect to the stats part. So here you will observe that I will be focusing on the premium level questions of lead code, which you might not able to open because you don't have a lead code subscription. But no need to worry. As I say previously also, whenever you see these kind of problems will be there, the main idea is that you will document the learning. If you feel that the challenge is amazing, the interview problem is amazing, please make sure that you will try to write it somewhere so that in future whenever you're going for an interview you have those notes handy with you and you will be able to just recap whatever things you have learned so far. So now without wasting any time, let's get started. So now let's start working upon solving the problems which are under the statistics category, as I already mentioned. So here you will be able to observe that there are few problems which you won't be able to open, and they will be logged in your platform if you are not having a premium account. So please make sure, either if you have, please open that. Otherwise you can just refer this question and try to think over it, that how basically you will approach this problem. Okay, let's try to solve it step by step. So for example, here we will be having a table by the name of a store. We have a column name, for example, bill ID, customer ID, and the amount available. And the type of each and every, you will be able to see, column is of integer type. What they are saying is that bill ID is the primary key, and each row contains the information about the amount of the bill and the current customer associated with it. Okay, so what they want us to do, they want ki we have to write a solution to report the number of customers who had at least one bill with an amount strictly greater than 500. Okay, so it means that what they're saying is that how many number of customers are there in a way who are having a amount which is more than 500, right? That is the question. So here we can see that customer 1 is definitely is having an amount more than 500. Customer 2 doesn't have. Customer 3, yes, there are two instances in which one is having more than 500 and another one is having less than. But anyhow, we have two customers, 1 and 3, which is having an amount more than 500. So definitely you can say the rich count is 2. So that is the answer which we can report, right? Makes sense. So basically we have to apply somehow the, you can say, filter in a way where they're saying at least one bill, that's why the answer is 2, right? That's why the answer is 2. So let's try to solve this problem, how basically we can try to count the sum of rich customers. So what is the you can say mindset which I'm having currently is, first of all, let's try to filter out the customer IDs of those customers who are having an amount more than 500. So let's do that first of all. So we have a store as the data frame. So what I will do is I will try to apply a filter. Store of, you can say, amount, then you can say 500. So what we want in that case in the data frame is the field of customer underscore ID. And this is the filter of, you can say, rich customers. Can we say this? Rich customers. So we have a data frame now available in which we have filtered out those customers, not rich, it's rich customers. Those customers who are having a amount more than 500. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now what we want is, for example, this statement will return the answer as 1, 1 and 3. But what I want is a unique customers so that I can count it, very easily. So in our data frame, we have a function called as nUnique. We can use that. So what we can do is we can say count is equals to rich underscore customers. Inside that, again, we can pick up the customer underscore ID. And here we can say nUnique, right? nUnique. So this will definitely gives us the unique value. So here we will be having 1, then here we will be having 2. Now, what we want at the end of the day is the count value, number of unique values. So what we can do is we can simply create a data frame and we can convert. So pd dot data frame, we can create that, in which the inside the dictionary part we have a key which is rich underscore count, and we have a value which is nothing but is the count value, and finally we can return df. I think this is fine, right? So basically what we are doing is, in the very first instance, we have filtered out those records for which the amount is bigger than 500, strictly bigger than that. Then we have tried to find out the number of unique, you can say, customer IDs, number of unique customer IDs, and finally we have converted in the form of the output that we want. Okay, we are getting some issue here. And what is that? Let me try to recheck it again. Okay, it should be in the form of a list. So let me write in the form of a list. Then I think it should work fine. Let's try to submit this code. Makes sense, makes sense. It is working perfectly fine. Let's jump to the next superb interesting question that we have. Immediate food delivery. Let's see what they are saying here. So we have a delivery ID, customer ID, order date, and customer preference delivery date. And every particular column is having a separate type as well. What they're saying, that if the customer's preferred delivery date is same as the order date, right? The customer's preferred delivery date is same as the order date. So if both of them are same, in that case we can call the order as immediate. Otherwise we can call it as scheduled. Makes sense. So basically we can try to categorize our delivery table into two categories. One is immediate, another one is scheduled. Immediate is the one where the order date is exactly equal to the customer preferred delivery date. Makes sense. So we have to write a solution to find the percentage of immediate orders in the table rounded to 2 decimal places. So this is what we have to make sure. For example, here you can see we have an order available. So we have to find out the immediate percentage, which is nothing but total, you can say, count of immediate divided by total count. We will calculate that into 100, and that we have to make sure that it will be up to 2 decimal places. So that is something which they're expecting from us. So let's try to see how can we solve this problem. So what we can do here, first of all, we have to filter out the customers who are asking immediate orders and the customers who have a scheduled orders. So we can just apply this constraint. So what we can do here is, I can just apply is immediate, and inside that what I can do here is I can simply write a constraint of delivery of, you can say, order underscore date, if let's say that is something which is almost equal to the delivery of, you can say, customer preferred delivery date. If both are equal to each other, right? If both are equal to each other, it means that this specific condition will be either true or false. Similarly, we can just have a look of is underscore scheduled wala part. So what we can do here is we can say is equals to, or in other words, is that required to calculate? I think it's not required. If let's say, if I'll just directly count the length of the delivery, or I will just make that length minus that is immediate, that will also give me the scheduled part. I think it's not required. We can solve without that as well. So for now, I'm just removing this. Let's think over it. Now what I can do is I just calculate the count of is immediate order. So how can we do that? Count is equals to is underscore immediate. And here I can say dot sum. So it will give me the count of the immediate orders. So this particular thing will give me the count of the immediate orders. Okay. Now what we want is the total count of all the orders. Then only we can easily perform the percentage wala part. So total underscore count value is nothing, but it is equals to, you can say, what is the length of the delivery that we will be having. And finally, let's calculate the percentage value. Let's calculate the percentage of overall, you can say, orders, right? That is what we want. We want a percentage of immediate orders. Percentage of immediate orders in the table. So how can we do that? Maybe we can just try to evaluate the percentage as a variable, which is equals to what is the count value divided by what is the total underscore count value into, I believe, 100, right? That is something which we will be able to get, or you can just write it further itself like this: 100 into count divide by total count. And because we have to do the round off till two decimal places, we can just mention in comma 2. And finally, what we can do is we can just try to write a data frame which is equals to pd dot data frame. And here we will be having again the key value pair, because we're again converting that into data frame. So here, what is the key, what is the column header? As an output, it is the immediate percentage. And what is the value for this same? It is nothing but the percentage value which we are getting. And finally, what we can do is we can simply return the value of df. Okay, perfect. Let's try to run this code. Let's see if we're getting some issue. Yes, customer preferred delivery date, maybe some indentation issue is there. Let me try to recheck. Okay, I think there is some spacing issue is there. Let's try to resolve this. Let's try to run this again. Oh, working fine. Perfect. Let's try to see the another question. It's interesting. Both the questions I found it really interesting, by the way. Now, the next question says that, we have an account ID available in a table. Each row contains information about the monthly income for one bank account. Makes sense. So what we want is you need to write a solution to calculate the number of bank accounts for each salary category. We have a category of low salary, average salary, and the high salary. Okay. Low salary means that the salaries are strictly lesser than $20,000. Average means this, and high means more than 50,000. Average means inclusive of 20 and 50. Okay. The result table must contain all three categories, and if there are no accounts in the category, return 0. Return the result table in any order. For example, here you can just have to count that how many number of bank accounts are there in which there is a low salary stage, how many number of bank accounts are there which belongs to average salary stage, and how many of them belongs to a high salary stage. Makes sense. So again, I think first of all, we have to filter the low salary as per the given constraint, average salary as per the given constraint, and high salary as per the given constraint. And then at the end of the day, we will do the summation of all of these values to make a better sense. So what I can do here is I can try to curate count underscore low salary. And what we can do is we can try to apply a constraint accounts of income. And what is the constraint? We are saying that if the income is strictly less than, you can say 20,000. So we'll apply the condition. If it is strictly less than 20,000 dot, you can say sum. So what we will be able to get collectively is the summation of the count of the lower salary, right? Similarly, what we can do is now we can just apply a constraint for the average salary. And what we can do here is we can again apply the constraint accounts of income. We are saying if it is in the range from 20,000 to 50,000. So in a way, we are saying if it is more than equal to 20,000, because they're saying inclusive, and less than equal to 50,000. So what we can say is accounts of income less than equal to 50,000, right? Then also we have to do the summation dot sum. The next thing is what we want is the count of the high salary. So what we want is accounts of income more than 50,000. That's the constraint for the high salary part, right? So we will be able to get a low salary, average salary, and high salary count. What is the last thing we have to do? So here we, in a way, try to make a categories. We have made a categories of we try to make a category as per the given, you can say, constraints, right? As per the given constraints. Now the next task will be, just give me a moment, I'm just seeing the recording part side by side. So the next part would be in which we have to see that format of printing the result. And what we want at the end of the day is the data frame in which we have two columns. One is category and another one is that account underscore count. So let's try to make a data frame to display the final, you can say, results. So what we can do here is we can say df, which is equals to pd dot data frame. Oops, what happened to my keypad? Yep, pd dot data frame. And inside that, what we are saying is, in the very first part, we want category. So let's try to create a dictionary in which we are writing a category as a column. And inside the list, we will mention low salary, we will mention average salary. Also, we will mention about the high salary part, high salary. Afterwards, the next column is something which contains the accounts underscore count, in which we will be having the value of count underscore low salary. We will be having a value of count underscore average salary, and we will be having a value of count underscore high salary. And finally, we can return the data frame df. Let me try to run this code. There is some issue. Average salary not defined. Okay, the variable is this one. Let's change this and let's run this. Wrong answer. Uh, okay, we have not done the summation for that. Let me try to recheck. Yes, summation is required. So that we will be able to get the count for the same. Now let's see. Let's try to submit this. Perfect. It makes sense. Let's jump to the very last question of today's session, where we will see the ads performance. What they're saying is that a company is running the ads and wants to calculate the performance of each ad, right? Performance of the ad is measured through click-through rate. So, it's a very important parameter for any company, for any YouTube channel also, because I am also running one of my own YouTube channel by the name of Priya Bhatia. So I know that, what's the importance of this statistics of CTR. So usually what they want is that how my performance of the ad is being done, which is calculated by the number of ad clicks divided by the total of ad clicks plus the total views into 100. So you can see that if the addition of both of them is 0, then CTR is 0. The definition you can clearly see. Otherwise, what we want is the percentage of CTR, which is this total clicks divided by total clicks plus total views into 100. Now, what we want is a solution to find the CTR of each ad, and we need to round the CTR to 2 decimal places. Return the result table ordered by CTR in descending order, and by ad ID in ascending order. We have to take care of this as well in case of a tie. So we have the ad 1, user ID 1, action is clicked. So in a way, first of all, we have to evaluate how many of them are clicked and how many of them are viewed, so that we will be able to get an idea at the value of CTR, the percentage value. Okay, makes sense. And then maybe we can apply a filter of sort, and we can filter the values as per the CTR and ad underscore ID. So let's try to do it step by step. So what we can do at the very first go is we can maybe try to do a grouping of ad underscore ID as per the action. So what I'm trying to convey here is we will try to evaluate the value of CTR, which is nothing but ads dot, we will apply the filter of group by ad underscore ID, and what we want is the action. So if you will run this, I'll just showcase you, and if you will just return the CTR for now, obviously you will not get the correct output, but I think in the test cases we can see the result. Okay, they are expecting a data frame. So maybe we can just convert this PD dot data frame of this CTR and store this in a CTR. If I can showcase you, I'm just trying to showcase this result. If I can. Yes, I think now I can showcase you. So you will be able to see what is happening is it is not actually a CTR. Okay, this is the output, right? So what we are getting here, you can clearly see here we will be having ad underscore ID as a index number. So you can see we have a unique ad ID because we are doing a grouping operation. So we are getting 1, we are getting 2, we are getting 3, we are getting 5. And in the other side of the column, you can see that you're getting as per the groups. For 1, what is the action? Clicked, ignored, viewed, and clicked. For 2, what is the action? Clicked, viewed. So this statement is basically doing this task of grouping the ads as per the ad underscore ID, and correspond to that, the actions will be available, right? Now, what we want is we have to apply the filtered, because we have to see summation of the clicked and viewed. So what we can do, we can apply a lambda operation now. So we can apply, and here we can just do the calculation. Lambda x colon, and here we will do the round off. So here what we can do is we can do a summation of wherever x is equal to, because we know in the column we have clicked part, right? So we can say wherever the x is equal to clicked. As per the definition of CTR, how basically we can evaluate that? Total clicks divided by total clicks plus total views. So what we can do, summation of x is equal to clicked plus sum of x is equal to, you can say, viewed, right? So we will be able to get this into percentage. How can we evaluate? 100. I think now it is fine. It makes sense. So this is the overall idea to evaluate the summation value. But now we have a condition. When we have to evaluate this term, when the value of addition of total clicks and total views is not equal to 0. So what we can say, if this value of, if the sum of, maybe I can just copy this, if the sum of this plus this is bigger than 0, else the statement will be 0 only. Makes sense? And then when you can round off, because we want until 2 decimal places, so you can say comma 2. So what will happen here is, somehow we have in one statement tried to evaluate the value of CTR as per the given constraint. So what will happen is, I'm just again showcasing you. Let me just go to the extreme left side. So now you can see the entire screen, I believe, right? It is visible. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to take a clicked value, divide by the clicked plus viewed into 100. So this entire term will actually give me the percentage of CTR. But we know that this percentage will make sense if the addition of both of them is bigger than 0. If it is equal to 0, then it doesn't make sense at all. So if it is bigger than 0, then in that case, the value will be this evaluation value of CTR. Otherwise, it will be nothing but is equal to 0.00, because we want result as a 2 decimal places. Finally, when we move out of this, what we want at the end of the day is we want proper indexes. So we will reset that, right? And finally, we have to sort the value. So in our result part, when we are trying to convert it into the data frame, we want 2 things, right? So let's try to convert that. So in the CTR dot columns, we are looking for 2 columns preferably. One is the, you can say, ad underscore ID, and another one is the CTR. And what we want at the end of the day is that this value of CTR that we have should be sorted. So what we can do is we can say sort underscore values by equals to, and here we can mention a list of 2 variables. One is CTR, another one is ad underscore ID. And then we can say ascending is equal to false for the first case, because what they are expecting from us is descending order, and ad underscore ID is in ascending order. So it will be true for that in case of a tie. And finally, what we can do is we can simply return the result. Let's see, there are chances we will get some error because there is too many things we have done here. But let's try to see that. Is it passing? Okay, there is some wrong answer we're getting. We are getting the CTR values wrongly as far as I can see. And even the ad underscore ID is not looking great. Sum of x equal to clicked divided by sum of x equal to clicked plus x equal to viewed into 100. seems to be fine. It seems to be fine. Then why it is throwing an issue? We are applying a lambda function, sum of x is equals to clicked. That is the definition we have studied, right? Divided by, let me try to store this in one other bracket. Sum of this plus sum of this into 100. Let me try to run this again. Let's see what is the error. Oh, it is getting accepted. Means there is a bracket issue only in terms of calculation. So here might be because I have not placed a appropriate bracket. It might not be doing the addition in one go, or maybe it is applying that Bodmas theorem and doing a multiplication first, and then it is doing a addition internally. That is the calculation mistake which is happening. So bracket is also important. With this, I hope that the part of statistics portion is pretty much clear to everyone. In this specific portion, we have covered up premium problems, and I hope that it makes sense to you that now how basically you have to uh, give a thought of solving these problems. You will observe one thing, that problems are not that much difficult. It is quite easy. The only thing is we have to make sure that we have to first of all read the problem statement very carefully, and secondly, whatever knowledge you have gained till so far, right, whatever things you already aware, just try to apply that knowledge, that how basically we can solve these things. These are mathematical problems which we have solved, and I think it is quite easy. Yeah, a few of them seems to be challenging for me as well, but ultimately I think we will be able to handle all of these problems. So I hope that you have enjoyed these questions learning with me, and I definitely want you guys to explore on your own as well. Please make sure that, as I always say, that to solve these problems there are multiple solutions exist. So don't copy paste the approach which I'm communicating here. It might be the case that you guys come up with a more interesting approach as comparable to me. So please make your mind open while solving these questions. I'm just solving it live so that whatever things are coming in my head, I can share with you all, right? So the basic purpose is to share with you the mindset, whenever you're going for an interview, how basically you have to approach the problem, what's your thinking mindset all about. Just try to make sure that you will be able to get that idea pretty well. Don't try to cram any solution, because definitely chances are very high that interviewers will ask you the questions similar to that but not exactly that. So the main thing is you should try to point out and write it down some important things whatever you are learning in this journey. And I hope that you all are enjoying this series as well.